The San Antonio Spurs are going to the NBA Finals. I have no words. They actually did it. The Spurs are going to the 2026 NBA Finals. And this was supposed to be a season that some people called a play-in team. This was supposed to be the year that, you're still looking towards developing your young guards and you're looking to develop Wemby. The Spurs are going to the NBA Finals. I have no words. I cannot believe they just did that. The narrative all season has been, they're too young. They can't do it. They're too inexperienced. They've never been there. Why can't it be this team? Why? Who says that it can't? Who says that this team can't do it? They are here. This is not the Spurs are in their first year of competitiveness. No. Ladies and gentlemen, I hate to break it to you, but the San Antonio Spurs are back. If you didn't know already, you know now. You know. We just witnessed the return of the San Antonio Spurs in real time. They just walked into the defending champ's house in Game 7 and took over. This is just not I don't even know how to make this video. They just did it. They just advanced to their first NBA Finals since 2014. It's been 12 years. I watched every game of DeMar DeRozan. I watched Keita Bates-Diop score 30 points in the final game of Staples Center. I was there when they drafted Josh Primo. I've seen it all, man, and it just feels so good to see this team back on top. But it's not over. There's 4 more games. There's business to handle. And this Knicks team has given the Spurs trouble. And they're playing their best basketball right now. But the Thunder are easily the best team in the NBA. And the Spurs just got it done. And sure, you can say no J-Dub, no AJ Mitchell, whatever it may be. But this Spurs team is ready. They're ready to go into these next 4 games, 5 games, 6 games, 7 games, however long this series may be. They're ready. There's no doubt about it anymore. If you doubted it then you don't doubt it now. There's nothing more. This Spurs team is going to come in and handle business. And they're ready to go. Because you want to know why? Because Victor Wembanyama is the best player in the world. Not in the Western Conference, not in the Eastern Conference, not the best player under 22 years old. He's the best player in the world. And the Spurs' strength all season of their depth that's been lacking during this series showed up when it matters most, and that is why I'm fully convinced that they are able to hoist a Larry O'Brien because everyone else showed up. And now it matters just as much. Wemby with a nice little 22 points, asserted himself early, and guess what? When Wemby asserts himself early, the rest of the team plays better. And you know who plays better? Julian Champagnie, a reincarnation of 2013 Danny Green. Game 7 Champagnie. 6 triples tonight, 20 points. Stephon Castle, Dylan Harper, De'Aaron Fox, all with double-digit points. Castle 16, Fox 15. His best game of the series easily. And these next 3 days of rest are going to be so important for him because he's still dealing with that high ankle sprain. But tonight he looked like he had some burst. That was the most De'Aaron Fox has looked like the entire series. He was looking to get his shots. His 3 was falling. That is what the Spurs need for these next games. You need De'Aaron Fox to start asserting himself. He's going to have to be having the greatest treatment in the world because you need him to be ready. Stephon Castle had 6 turnovers, but you know what? He was still awesome everywhere else. Dylan Harper, I cannot believe he's a rookie. I'm watching a rookie who has 10 years of NBA experience. He's a rookie. He is going to be the Tony Parker next to Wemby's Tim Duncan. The future is still on its way, and the Spurs just reached the NBA Finals. Do y'all not realize how crazy that is? The future is far from here, and the Spurs are already at this stage. You know who I got to give the biggest shout out to? Luke freaking Cornett. His whole contract was worth every penny after he had a LeBron-esque chase down block on Isaiah Hartenstein. That was the defining factor for this team that had them pull away. That was the shift in momentum. That was the change in energy. Because it was going to come down to non-Wemby minutes, and Luke Cornett just made every single penny of his contract worth it. That was a rough first half for the Spurs. It was. Jump out to a huge lead and keep letting the Thunder come back, and they take the lead multiple times. But yet the Spurs still managed to be up top at halftime, 56-53. That made me feel promising. But the Spurs didn't play with a lot of energy. There wasn't a lot of ball movement. But guess what? They were back. They were waiting. They were conserving all the energy they could. And Mitch Johnson, as he does pretty much all postseason, he's done a phenomenal job at capitalizing on execution of the second half. Because that second quarter offense was terrible. But I knew how good the Spurs have been in third quarters. And you know who woke up? Like I said, Julian Champagnie. That was the big reason why the Spurs were able to pull away. You know who showed up in the biggest moment of the game? Keldon Johnson, who hasn't been here all series. But you know what? 8 points in the fourth quarter and some of the biggest points of the game. Came out, hit a pair of triples, had a layup. That's when I started thinking. That's when it started feeling real. Of like, maybe this is about to happen. But the Spurs, they're here. This team is ready to go. And this Knicks team, they're going to come off a long period of rest. And sometimes teams don't play that well coming off long periods of rest. The Spurs didn't. They had a couple days off, like 6 days off after they beat Portland, and they played terrible versus Minnesota in Game 1. Obviously, they lost that game. Spurs play better when they have minimal rest between games. But I'm just going to say, these next 3 days are going to be so huge for the entire team because they need a breather. There's been multiple times where they've looked gas, but you're going to get a fresh Knicks. Mitch Robinson is going to have that pinky injury, but he's still going to play. And the biggest defining factor of this regular season series for these two teams has been the Knicks' size. They're probably going to have to throw some French vanilla out there a lot of the times to keep up with a Cat and Mitchell Robinson lineup. Jalen Brunson is the second best player right now behind Victor Wembanyama. He's playing his best basketball. Mikal Bridges struggled in that Hawks series and is thriving. He loves playing the Spurs. Landry Shamet, I think he missed just 5 threes in the conference finals. He's playing well. The Spurs and the Knicks, as when normally when teams meet in the finals, they're playing their best basketball. And it's not just that the Knicks are just playing their best basketball. They're playing the best basketball we've maybe ever seen them play in the last decade. Those Knicks are murdering teams. Every closeout game, they just blow them out. Like, I'm a little scared. But I have confidence. I think they can do it. I think this Spurs team is ready. They're playing their best basketball. And the 2 times that the Knicks and Spurs met, 3 counting the NBA Cup, but in the matchups that they faced off in, Spurs were playing their worst basketball. You got to look at that game back in March where it was a 12 o'clock tip-off time. Spurs played terrible in those games. And that's just what happened. Spurs got demolished. In the one game that they won this season, Julian Champagnie, it took him 11 three-pointers to win that game. You know what? You still did. But if there was any team in the East that I didn't want to face in the NBA Finals, it's the New York Knicks. But man, it's time for the Spurs to get it done. 4 more wins. I cried, bro. I mean, I was crying in the video. I can't believe it. 4 more games, and the Spurs could host a Larry O'Brien. That's just, that idea is special. And I'm not going anywhere. After every Spurs-Knicks game, you're going to see a Ty Talk Sports reaction video. So make sure you like this video, enjoyed it, subscribe if you're new, turn on that post notification bell if you haven't already, because after every NBA Finals game, I'm going to be here making reaction videos. So, until Wednesday, this is Ty Talk Sports signing off, and I will see you all next time.